Welcome back to Studio Classroom. I was just thinking about friendship. Are you a good friend to your friends and to your classmates? If you want to know the answer to something in your homework, do you ask your friends to share the answers with you? Is that being a good friend? Or maybe is that asking your friend to cheat and to help you cheat? Well, of course, it's important to be a good friend to other people, not to take advantage of other people. You want to be a good friend. And part of true friendship is being honest with them and letting them know how they can improve, letting them know that cheating is not a good way to live. All right, well, let's continue this conversation between Alan and Kyle now.
Cheating or sharing?
But it makes me uncomfortable. I take pride in my work, and you should too.
I do! I just didn't finish this one assignment last night.
How are you going to learn if you don't do the work yourself?
You know, I usually do my own work.
But if I let you copy my homework this time, you'll be tempted to do it again.
Oh, come on. How about if I buy you your favorite ice cream after school?
Now you're trying to buy me off?
OK， 接下来我们看的是 uncomfortable 这个形容词 ，un 这个字首是否定的意思 ，comfortable 是指舒适的或者感到愉快放松的，所以 uncomfortable 就是指感到不舒服的、不自在的或者是不安的。例如 ，His jokes make me feel uncomfortable， 他的笑话让我觉得很不自在，或者是 Rachel feels uncomfortable around her boyfriend's parents，Rachel 觉得跟男朋友的父母亲在一起很不自在。它的反义词就是去掉字首的 un 变成 comfortable。例如 I'm wearing my comfortable shoes for shopping。我穿好走的鞋去逛街。最后我们看的是 buy someone off 这个成语。buy someone off 是指买通或贿赂某人。例如 The thief bought the bank's security guard off so he could get into their vault。这名小偷买通了银行的保全，所以可以进入保险库。或者是 The head of the mob tried to buy the judge off, but failed. Now he's in jail. 这个黑道大哥试着要收买法官，但是失败了。他现在关在监牢里。And now let's get back to our teachers.
Okay, continuing with this conversation, Kyle starts us out by saying, but it makes me uncomfortable. Okay, so what makes him uncomfortable? It makes him uncomfortable that Alan wants to copy a few of his answers.
That's right. And why does it make him uncomfortable? Well, several reasons. First of all, he thinks that it is cheating. And also, he says here, I take pride in my work, and you should too. And friends, yes, that is the answer to the question I asked earlier. What does Kyle take pride in? He takes pride in his work. But we see here that phrase, to take pride in something. What does that mean?
Gabe, I'm glad that you are asking me. If you take pride in something, this just means that you are very pleased and very proud of something that you've done. So, for example, Vicky takes pride in her beautiful paintings, or I take pride in the fact, Gabe, that I was homeschooled.
You know what else you take pride in, Rebecca?
What?
You always take pride in your good example sentences. You love your example sentences.
You know, I do. Don't you take pride in your example sentences?
Well, I do try to come up with some good ones. I mean, I wrote down, okay, what do you take pride in? Do you take pride in your accomplishments? Do you take pride in your abilities or talents? I think in some way, most of us do. We all take pride in what we can do.
And of course, we have already learned that Kyle takes pride in his work. And of course, I think that you all should also take pride in your work when you've worked hard.
That's right. And friends, you see this word pride, and sometimes it makes us think of the word in Chinese, 骄傲, to be proud. But taking pride in something and being a proud or arrogant person, that's not the same thing. It's okay, like Rebecca said, to take pride in your work.
Well, Alan responds to Kyle by saying, I do. That is, he does take pride in his work. I just didn't finish this one assignment last night. Just one assignment.
Just one assignment. He just needs a little bit of help. Again, he thinks that Kyle is making this a big deal. To Alan, it's really not that big of a deal. Kyle says, how are you going to learn if you don't do the work yourself? That's a good point, too.
And Alan says, you know, I usually do my own work. Okay, so in his eyes, he thinks that it's not a big deal that he didn't finish this one assignment, and he should be able to copy his friend's answers.
Okay, well, Kyle says, but if I let you copy my homework this time, you'll be tempted to do it again. So he's afraid that Alan is going to develop a habit of relying on Kyle for his homework answers.
Oh, come on. How about if I buy you your favorite ice cream after school? Okay, that's the way to do it. I'll buy you some ice cream if you give me the answers to this assignment.
All right. But then Kyle says, now you're trying to buy me off. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Well, you know something, Gabe? That reminds me of a similar word. If you buy someone off, isn't that similar to that of a bribe? You're trying to bribe them?
Yes, like in a wedding. Here comes the bride.
No, that's bride.
Oh.
Here we're talking about the word bribe. If you bribe someone, that means that you give them something in exchange for you doing something for you.
Yes, and bribes are always dishonest.
Yeah.
So friends, if someone offers you a bribe, don't take a bribe. It's good to be honest, because honesty, after all, is the best policy. Okay, well, Kyle takes pride in his work, and of course, we've discussed that pride can be a good thing. Let's see what else Steve and Ken have to say about this in the info cloud.
Today we'd like to ask the question, is pride a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I know it can be a bad thing. After all, it's one of the 7 deadly sins listed by the Catholic Church.
You are right. When someone feels superior to other people, then it's not a good thing. That superior feeling is often described as being prideful, as opposed to the more personal being proud.
Right. Prideful is negative. It means having or showing arrogant superiority to those one views as unworthy. Proud, on the other hand, can have a positive connotation. It refers to the feeling of pleasure or satisfaction over something, like an achievement.
So the bad type of pride is where we think we're better than others in some aspects, such as the country we live in, our language, skin color, beauty, money, status, fame, IQ, etc.
And the harm of this superior feeling is that one might feel as though they are so much better than others that they end up putting people down. Think of the Nazis during World War II.
And the problem with proud people is they don't learn, they don't apologize, and they won't ask for help. They are blind to their weaknesses.
And to learn requires humility, which is the opposite of pride.
But pride in itself is not a bad thing and can be very useful for maintaining standards. I take pride in what I do, and I will work hard to maintain my English teaching abilities.
Yes, this is the type of pride that I'm sure our students will approve of. So friends, have reasonable pride in yourself, but beware of it going over the edge into a superiority complex.
当你看到 pride 骄傲这个字，你会觉得这是一个负面的还是正面的用词呢？其实 pride 正面跟负面的意思都有。负面的 pride 表示傲慢自大、轻视别人，这种的 pride 往往会导致 superiority complex 优越情节，让一个人也许因为自己的 肤色、美貌、成就、财富、学位，而抬高身价，展露出一副趾高气扬的姿态。天主教的教义当中就将 pride 列为 the seven deadly sins， 所谓的七宗罪之一。但正面的 pride 是代表成就感，以某人为荣。我们为棒球国手感到很 proud， 那是正面的骄傲。所以呢，形容词 proud 也有两种含义，但是另一个形容词 prideful 就是一个负面的字，它表示骄傲自大、洋洋得意的。这就是今天的 Info Cloud， 我们下次云端见。
All right, friends, that's the end of today's lesson. However, our next lesson is about Guam. Have you ever been to Guam, Rebecca?
I have. So, friends, make sure you join us tomorrow as we talk about Guam right here on Studio Classroom.
We'll see you then. Oh, yeah. Well, you wrote that lesson.
Yes, I wrote that lesson.